Okay, so just finished up the Atari pinball and we're moving on to the next board. This is an original, looks like an Atari Pong board, SYZYGY. Okay, Pong. So I'm calling it Atari Pong, but it's really even before that. So looks like it's fully populated, but there is some corrosion and rust and shit on there. So let me first clean that board as best I can before I even plug it in. So let me do that and I'll be back. So I gave this board a simple green bath and it's better, but this corrosion like here is probably from rat urine and stuff like that. So these chips won't operate more than likely with that corrosion on it. I'm going to try to clean them up with a Dremel, and some of the traces I'll try to clean up. I can't get too crazy or I'll destroy them obviously, but lightly cleaning it to make it better. But some chips like this have to be cleaned. All these in this area need to be cleaned or they won't have any chance of working. They probably won't work anyway, but at least it'll give them a chance. So let me do some cleaning with the Dremel and I'll be back. So I've got this board powered up and we're getting nothing on the screen. There's no activity anywhere on the board. The oscillator circuit, which is right here, is not oscillating. It's dead. So the inverter has high on input, high on the output. That doesn't look right to me, so I'm going to try replacing that inverter chip first, see if we can't get the oscillator going. The 7404 has been replaced, and we still don't have a picture. But the oscillator's kind of working now, so let me show you that. So there's what it looks like now. Before there was nothing. It was just either, I can't remember if it was solid up or solid down. And but you can see that's what a good clock signal looks like on a scope with my bandwidth. So that looks real good. That clock's working now. I mean the oscillator. So now we need to look at these counters and basically start from this oscillator and go across. Check out the flip-flop, the counters, and all the logic in between, and see if there's what else is bad in this chain. If we can get this chain run, then we should start seeing stuff on the screen. Okay, so tracing down this clock chain here, the flip-flop is working. This chip here is getting the clock signal, but is not generating any output, so I'm going to replace it. This is a 7493 at F8. I should have 7493s because I bought some because I was needing them. This is an obsolete part, very hard to find. But I'm going to try to dig one up because I think I've got them, and I'm going to replace it, and then I'll be back. The 7493 has been replaced, and we're starting to get something on the screen. It's not anything important yet or recognizable yet, but it is working. This chip is confirmed working with the scope. So now I'm going to keep going down the chain, go to the next one. Probably the next 7493 will be bad too. I'll find out. All right, so I'm probing here, and this guy has active outputs except for the highest bit. It's not changing, and I'm thinking it's supposed to. I'm going to be replacing this chip. It's F9, and it's also a 7450, 7493. So I'm going to try replacing that and see if I can get this signal to propagate on through past this flip-flop here. This signal also needs to get, let's see, flip-flop generates this signal here. Yes, so it needs to get to this counting chain to the vertical sync chain. So far we're not getting past horizontal. So I'll change that chip and see what happens. All right, so the counter at F9 has been replaced, and still not getting anything on the screen yet. It's acting a little differently, but it's still nothing. Nothing significant. No game obvious stuff. So what does that mean? That means we've got the oscillator working. We're getting all the way through this part of the counting counting chain. Excuse me. We're getting past this. This gate here seems to be doing something, although I have to see it with the logic probe, not the scope, because it's very fast and very, very minor change, just a bump every so often. And then it's getting past this apparently, and so now we're getting to here, and this is E8. Let me check E8. So there's the outputs of E8. That doesn't look good at all. It's not a full logic level, it's just kind of floating. So E8 is going to be bad. That's this chip right here. Let me replace it, and guess what it is? It's a 7493 too. I'll be back. Okay, I replaced that one. So that's 1, 2, 3 is the 7493s. Here's the last one in this chain. But it's good, and we're starting to get something. We're starting to see scores and an actual gameplay, it looks like. It's not syncing, and I don't have the sync hooked up because I can't remember where to hook it up. I'll have to remember that. So I don't think the sync is being generated. So let me probe around and check that and see if I can find the sync signal. I suspect we got at least one more counter bad. I'll be back. Well, it looks like I have a sync. I'm not sure what all the garbage is. I'm gonna have to figure that out, but I guess the sync is there and correct. Not seeing the ball movement. I'm not seeing the net. So yeah, we got problems. But the most disturbing problem are these black lines going through the video. No idea what that is yet. Let me keep probing around. I'll figure it out. Well, because of all the problems we had with the 7493s, I decided to find all of the 7493s on the board and test them. And this one right here is acting bad, so I'm going to replace it. This seems to have something to do with ball motion, so maybe that will get the ball moving around. Let me replace it and see what that does. Alright, so this counter, 7493, was replaced, and although it didn't make much difference in the video that I can tell, it was definitely bad. So when we get further along, we'll be glad we replaced that. Still trying to figure out why I've got these lines in there. It's like a blinking signal or something is happening. Yeah, that makes sense because it's black. Let me focus on blinking signals and see what I can figure out. All right, this chip here, E1, has a quad NAND gate, 2-input NAND gate. It's mostly looking good, but one of the gates looks weird, and it's in the sync. I'm not in the sync, the horizontal sync chain or the horizontal chain. And I want to replace that just so I know for a fact that it's not contributing to my problems. I don't expect anything to change though. All right, so I replaced that NAND gate and can't tell any difference in the video, but I do think it was bad. The output looks like it's correct now to me. So I think that guy was bad. It's just not affecting the current problem I'm trying to solve. I guess I'm just going to keep probing around. Hopefully I'll find a bad signal. Well, I decided to go through all the chips in order, starting with the first row. I got all the way to G2 on the second row and decided that that chip is bad. It's a 7427, some sort of triple input, triple gate chip. So I'm going to replace that, and I've got a feeling that's going to make a difference. So let me change that out and see what happens. Okay, that's 74LS27. We are now starting to see a ball, I believe. I believe that's, it doesn't look much like one, but I believe that's the ball bouncing around. So that was a big one, a big chip that needed to be replaced. I'm going to continue systematically going and looking at every chip until I find the next bad one. Okay, I continue to probe, and I found this 7474D flip-flop has a bad output right there. So I believe that has something to do with the ball motion, so I'm going to replace it. Also notice how there's two 7474s next to each other, and they're the same exact manufacturer, part number and everything. See how this one's darker? Well, maybe you can't tell from that angle. See how the text is darker on that one than this one? This one's probably going to be bad. You can just, when you see something like that, if you just want to guess, you can just replace it, and it probably will be bad. This board has had a lot of problems. I've seen worse, but this one is pretty bad. Let me replace that and let's see what else gets fixed. All right, I replaced that 7474 at A5, and not much difference. Still got the ball all broke up at the bottom bouncing around. The outputs on that one was bad, but I guess what it fixed didn't fix my immediate concern. Let me keep searching for problems. That last flip-flop that I replaced seems to have actually kind of repaired the ball motion. That looks pretty good. Earlier I mentioned that there was no net. Well, these old original Pong games didn't have a net. And what I'm talking about is a dash line down this area. They didn't have that, so that's not missing. Right now, I've got to get this video cleaned up, right? I got to get these black lines and gray lines and all that crap. I got to get that out of there. Then I can focus on gameplay. I'm not going to move forward until I get the video correct. But I might be out of ideas. I've looked at every chip and didn't see any bad outputs. Everything seems to be bouncing correctly. So that means one of these chips has an internal error. And I need to clean the board again because I've been replacing a lot of chips and it's gotten, you know, some filth on it from that, the flux and stuff from the solder. Let me clean that up and I'll plug it in and see if that makes any difference, see if the solder is affecting things. Okay, I've cleaned the front and back of the board. It's looking pretty good. It looks a lot better than it did, but that's really not saying a whole lot. Its board was in pretty rough shape. So we've got the ball bouncing around and we've got the horizontal lines, and of course things are getting mixed with the scores to screw them up. And the ball is not bouncing off the left wall, it's going all the way through. So those are all clues. If I push the start button, that's what happens. So it's making a ball hit sound constantly. So let me see if I can figure out what's causing that, and maybe that'll solve part of the video problems. It's getting late in the day, late in the evening actually, and I am tired. I've been working on this freaking all day, like 8 hours, and made good progress, but there were just so many problems I had to track down. And these last ones, I'm not sure what the hell's going on. I need to figure out why there's blank horizontal lines in the video. If I solve that, I think the rest of it will just fall into place. So I'm calling it quits for tonight. So that's the end of this episode. There'll be another episode for when I continue on this. Thanks for watching.